Healthy snacks don't need to be boring. Here at Jessie's Tropical Fruit Farm, we've got some great selection of freeze-dried goods. We've taken our fresh tropical fruit, we've processed it by usually taking and putting it into a silicone mold, then we'll freeze it. We take those little molds out so you have a cute individual portion size. It's easy for snacking, dropping into your teas, smoothies, cereal, lemonade, you name it. There's all kinds of ways you can get an extra punch of nutrients in any kind of food that you're eating. As a mom, I've always wanted to make sure that my family was eating healthy, and it's hard to slip things into their food without them knowing. This might be a great way to do it where they don't even catch what you're doing. So here we have our purely grown passion fruit pulp bites, which includes the entire pulp, the seed, everything you'll get outside of finding them fresh. So most times in the grocery stores, you'll see passion fruit pulp that's the seeds are already separated and it's very watered down, and there's not a lot of nutrients. But with the freeze dryer, it actually captures and locks in that nutrients, because the machine itself, once the bits are frozen, extracts all the water, and we're able to package it in these unique mylar bags, which makes it extremely shelf stable. It can last up to 25 years, so it's good for prepping, if you're going on a long trip and you want healthy snacks, if you want to have just a lot of quickly available food that has no sugar, no preservatives, there's no fluff in it. It's real fruit that's grown at peak ripeness and flash frozen and then freeze dried to lock in the maximum amount of nutrients. So here we have our passion fruit bites, and then we also have a yellow dragon fruit pulp that has the juice of passion fruit added for extra zing or flavor. So these are fun to put in all kinds of things. Here today we have two different teas that are virtually tasteless. We have ginseng tea and we have ginkgo tea, and then we'll add some pulp to that, and you can see how easy it is to just add it in. It'll melt in the glass, and then you can drink it, making a nice little mocktail, a cocktail, a smoothie, but it's just a fun way to have your fruit. So if you want to add sweetener, we have some natural honey here, which is a great way to get more antioxidants in your system, and there's a host of benefits with honey, or you could use maple syrup. Sometimes I just prefer not to have any sweetener at all, depending on the fruit. You'll probably want to add some sweetener to passion fruit because it is on the tart side, and it'll help you balance out those flavors. Here's our passion fruit. It's the possum purple variety, which is extremely sweet, but once we freeze dry it, it actually gets a little bit more tart. So you'll definitely want to add a little bit more than eating these just fresh. What is freeze dried? It takes the fruit and dries it to the point where it's crunchy. So we can add this to our drinks. You could add a whole cube and allow it to melt. If you were to eat this, it's going to be very tart. Like I said, if you eat the fresh fruit, it's going to be a little more sweet. But in this case, I'm going to add it to some tea, and that way it's a fun way to get passion fruit as well as the sweetness of the honey to balance that flavor. We don't want to eat the tag, people. Okay. And you see the fruit actually will start to dissolve immediately in water. If you wanted the fruit to taste just like the fresh pulp, you could actually take one of these cubes and you would put it in a bowl of water, just a little bit of water, and put it in your refrigerator for about 20 minutes. Come back and it's going to be back in its original form, which is a really fun thing about fruit freeze drying, is that you can get the fruit to be its original consistency and texture as it was when it was freeze dried. And so we have some passion fruit pulp in this one. Then we have our yellow dragon fruit bites. Yellow dragon fruit is extremely high in fiber, so if you have trouble using the restroom, or your kids do, it's a great way to help them go without any kind of chemical additives. Yellow dragon fruit is the sweetest variety of all the dragon fruit, so you'll get maximum sweetness in that. So you may not want to actually add honey to it. However, I will, just because I like to be able to get my antioxidants from the honey in there. So let's take this tea bag out while this dissolves in water. And we'll add a touch of honey, not too much, because again, with it being such a sweet variety, you really don't need as much. But the pure passion fruit cubes I would highly recommend a little bit of a sweetener of some type. And so you see how quickly it dissolves in that warm water. And then you're left with all the seeds, which are very good for fiber for your body. Adds a nice little crunch if you like the crunch and you like that texture. But otherwise, you could just drink them straight and not even worry about chewing the seed. It's so sweet and tropical. It's got a nice tang to it. It really hides the ginkgo flavor, ginseng flavor. It's such a overpowering tea, personally. You get your fruit pulp in there. So it's a great way to eat your fresh fruits and maximum nutrients. And all of our freeze-dried goods are available online. It's real fruit, no junk, grown here on our farm, and locked in with maximum freshness. So order online and we ship nationwide. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.